So unfortunately, this isn't really the most conventional way to do this, but it's already 1 in the morning. I have work in 8 hours. I'm leaving to go out of town later in the day. I have to pack already, and I have to edit some videos. So I'm going to be doing the greatest multitasking job you've ever seen. And I'm going to be filming this video while I'm editing another one. And I understand that that looks very unprofessional, not as organized, and looks like shit. And I don't have the green screen behind me, but my laptop has to be in my room because this is where I need to charge it. And when I'm running my editing browser, or my editing software without my laptop and the charger, it might fucking take off. And I haven't bought a desktop yet because this YouTube channel hasn't blown up yet. And until it does, I'm not going to be able to afford one. So we're just going to struggle bust this one out. Unfortunately, it's been a very, very busy week. That's the reason why Forever Talking has been online the last 2 weeks, and it's the reason why this episode of Ian Talks is not in front of a green screen, which I'm really, really actually pissed off about because I spent some pretty good amount of money on that big-ass green screen, and I'm not using it, and I haven't used it in about a week. But I promise that starting next week, we're getting back in the green screen room, and we're getting back in the studio, and we're getting back in person, and things are gonna go back to normal in the way things are. It's just we have to struggle bust this one out. There's just no other way. And on top of that, I would be damned if I didn't get an Ian Talks video to talk about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes after I got so much love on the last episode of Ian Talks, which I talked about how I believe that the Kingdom or the Planet of the Apes trilogy, the Caesar trilogy, is one of the best movie trilogies we've gotten in a really, really long time, especially whenever you think about the fact that trilogies are hard to make as is. I know Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes has been out for a couple weeks now, but like I said, if I don't have time to go downstairs and set my camera up and get in front of a green screen and set the entire room up to do a film video, how the fuck am I gonna find the time to go to a movie theater? Why is that not charging? Son of a bitch! But luckily enough, after work, I managed to find my way to the movie theater, and I was fortunate enough to actually sit down and enjoy a movie for the first time in a really, really long time. And that movie was, of course, the movie that we're talking about today. And it was Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and I guess the question that everybody needs to be asking, and the question that I need to be asking in this video is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes a worthy successor, a worthy continuation, a worthy quadrilogy, sequel to the trilogy? Is it a natural, worthy conclusion of the Planet of the Apes trilogy, the Caesar trilogy that has come before it? And after leaving the showing that I went to and attended for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes that was directed by Wes Ball, I can comfortably say that I left that movie theater pretty satisfied and actually very optimistic about where the film series is going to go in the future. Say that while I did really enjoy Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, it's certainly not a perfect movie. It has its flaws, and it's not as good as the movies that came before it. And the movies that I'm talking about in the original trilogy would be Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War of the Planet of the Apes, the ones directed by Matt Reeves. But what I can say is that I think that Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes matches up with Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and considering that this is the start of a new trilogy and this film matches the energy and the vibe and I guess the quality maybe even better than I thought Rise was, I think that there's optimism. There's something to look forward here, and I think that Wes Ball did a really, really great job directing this film. I thought it looked really nice. I thought that the setting was good. I think it had an interesting concept. Like I said in my last video, Wes Ball is certainly no Matt Reeves, and I don't know if Wes Ball is going to film the other movies in this trilogy because I'm 100% sure that there are going to be more movies in this trilogy. I don't know if he's going to be the director of those films or not, but I think that it wouldn't be a bad choice. I just think that Matt Reeves is just on a level of some of the best directors on the planet, so maybe it's not fair of us to be looking out or be as I don't think we can be as harsh on Wes Ball, but it's also a good thing to try and I know I'm stumbling because I'm multitasking, to try and live up to really, really high standards. I guess my main problems with this film is that it has somewhat of a tiny pacing issue. It's not the biggest deal in the world, and it's really, it doesn't affect the movie for me as much as it might affect other people. I am not someone who hates long movies. I know a lot of people are very upset when they get long movies. I am not one of those people. I enjoy the world, but I understand that whenever a movie isn't phenomenal and knocks you off your ass, and even movies that are phenomenal and knock you off your ass, you can feel that drag and you can feel that longevity of it. And I felt that drag here, but it doesn't really bother me that much as it may other people. Hell, talking about Matt Reeves, I felt that drag in The Batman, and that movie is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, superhero films of all time. Well, I mean, I'm not going to get in that argument, but still a phenomenal movie, and I even thought that movie dragged in some places, which is one of the weaknesses of that film. So I think that Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes does drag in some places. It's not the biggest deal in the world for me. Otherwise, I think that it uses it to kind of set up the world and set up the characters. And that's something that I appreciate about this film, is that they did try to do that very, very well. One of the things that I can definitely applaud Wes Ball for was that he tried to follow in the steps of Matt Reeves, which made the original Planet of the Apes trilogy as good as it was, is that he tried to build on the characters and the world and their motivations and their development. He made that a very big focus on this film, especially the main character, Noah, how he is in the beginning and how he changes by the end, becoming more accepting and understanding of humans and more interested. And I think that the Planet of the Apes, the original Caesar trilogy, it has some of the best character development and character writing in movies in a very, very long time, and it's one of the reasons why that trilogy is as successful as it is. And I think that Wes Ball and the writers and the producers of this film really tried to follow in those steps with this movie, and that's something that I can definitely applaud. I thought the cast of this movie was really, really good, especially Owen Teague as Noah, who is our new protagonist, who is going to be carrying this franchise for the next couple movies. I thought Peter Macon was phenomenal as Rocca. I really, really love that character. Freya Allen as May, and then Kevin Durand as Proximus Caesar. Kevin Durand is just, does that guy miss ever? I mean, he is damn good in a lot of the things that he's in. Also, William H. Macy's in this, which is pretty crazy. Whenever he popped up on screen, I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, William H. Macy is in this. But otherwise, besides that, I thought the cast was really, really good in this film. And I think that there's a lot to build on there for the future. And while I did really enjoy Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and I think that there's a lot to look forward to the future, I do have some skepticism, and that was from what they talked about a while back, was that they are planning to try to get to the 9 movie mark, which either means 9 more movies or 2 new trilogies or 6 movies to get to 9 movies. My only skepticism with that is after watching this film and I enjoyed it a lot, I can see that this might go downhill if we do not tread carefully. In order to keep a franchise going that long, and no franchise that has gone that long has really been able to stick to that level of quality. I mean, I guess like I think most of the Harry Potter movies are really, really great, or at least good. I don't think, for me at least, you could stick to this quality of film, which is good, just not phenomenal, and keep me excited for the next 15, 20 years. I think something's going to have to shift, and we're going to have to take that next step. But also, I don't feel like any movie trilogy or series should go to 9 movies. I think that's kind of fucking crazy. And that's where my skepticism lies. And while I do really, really like this movie, and I would watch it again, and the series and the trilogy has come before, and I am excited for the series and the trilogy that's going to come with this. I think we should tread carefully because we don't want a Fast and Furious thing going on here, and that would be the worst case scenario for this franchise. Fortunately, overstaying your welcome is something that films and movies and TV shows and books and comics and blah 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 do way too often, and I don't want it to happen with this one. I would like for this to learn from the mistakes of other movies and just put out 2 more really, really phenomenal movies and then get the fuck out of here. You made your money. Start anew if you want to, or whatever it is. But I think if I'm basing off the understanding, and there's going to be some spoilers here, how I think this is going to translate. I think that it's gonna like the next trilogy, like the next trilogy. We'll get to the point like the original Planet of the Apes films was, where there's a fucking spaceman and they have like a breathing civilization with technology and this, that, and the other, and apes are pretty much humans at this point, and humans are pretty much apes, and I think that there is interesting concepts to that, but I don't think we need to wait 6 more movies to do it. I think we can just do it in the next one or do it in the one after that, and end it there, and I think everybody would be happy. But that's just me. But yeah. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, what'd you think about it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? I happen to enjoy it. I think it's very good. I am very excited to see where this series goes from here. Do I think it's a perfect movie? Absolutely not. It has its flaws, but most movies have their flaws. That's how movies work. And I'm hoping that they're able to stay strong and consistent and continue to make really, really great movies as we move forward with this franchise in the future. Sorry I keep looking this way. I'm editing a video while I'm looking that way. Yeah, I promise we're going to get in the studio next week. It won't be this struggle bus forever. Some really big things on the horizon, which is also why it seems a struggle bus as it is right now, because I'm working to build things for the channel in the future. And doing that also with work, also with editing, it's kind of taken over my life a little bit. And I'm out of town this weekend, so I have a lot to get done in the next couple hours, and I have work in 8 hours. So I need to do all that and then find a way to get to bed at a reasonable hour. And I have to edit this too. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Ian Talks. Thank you for bearing with me. And let me know in the comments what you think about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was kind of mid or ass? Are you excited for the future? Do you think it's going to be trash? Let me know. And yeah, peace, love, adios, bye-bye.